Well, the final morning here at the Emirates Riverside. As you can see behind me, yet again it is misty. The floodlights are on, but we should get underway on time in a fascinating final day set up. Sam Curran yesterday, that's 6 for 51, reducing Durham to 213 for 8, but that is a lead of 247. So Durham know if they got a win here today, they would be safe in the relegation fight. Surrey want to finish the season as strongly as possible, so we should be on for a cracking final day of Championship cricket for Surrey in this summer of 2016. So final day here at the Emirates Riverside, and as always you'll miss none of the action here on Surrey TV.
Ben Stokes and Graham Onions bowled Durham to a vital victory over Surrey at the Emirates Riverside. Durham resumed in their second innings on 213 for 8, an overall lead of 247 with 2 wickets in hand. Wood and Carse were the not-out batsmen, and Wood got things going with a boundary off Footit in the third over. However, 2 balls later and he was out, caught and bowled by Footit for 5. Carse ensured that the last wicket wouldn't be given up easily. And it was Onions who was the last man out, caught by Footit, driving a looping slower ball from Sam Curran. Durham all out for 246, giving them an overall lead of 280. Stoneman fell just short of a century at the top of the order, whilst Clark was the only other batsman to pass 50. Sam Curran was the star of the show for Surrey, taking a career-best 7 for 58. The 18-year-old took the last wicket on day 4 after a menacing spell on day 3 that bagged 4 for 2 in the space of just 7 balls. 281 was the target for Surrey, but their run chase got off to a disastrous start when Wood removed Sibley with the 5th ball of the innings, Collingwood the catcher. Onions was convinced that he had Burns in the next over, but the umpire was unmoved. However, Durham didn't have to wait long for the second wicket, Wood removing Sangakkara for a duck with the first ball of his second over. Burns found the boundary off Wood in the 5th, but Surrey found themselves reeling at 11 for 3 when Burns was out-caught Jennings, bowled Onions for 9. Roy and Ansari were the new pairing, and Roy again looked in good touch when he found the boundary off Onions. Ansari was nearly out twice from one delivery when he first lobbed a catch that fell just short of the man at square leg, before then diving to make his ground at the non-striker's end. A direct hit would surely have seen him on his way. There was still time for more drama before the lunch break when Roy survived a huge caught-behind shout off Carse. It was exasperation and hands on heads all round for Durham. The afternoon session saw Roy and Ansari build a significant 4th innings partnership. The pair found boundaries easy to come by as they took advantage of anything too full or too short. Both batsmen passed 50 as they continued to dig Surrey out of a hole. The partnership was worth 143 when Durham finally had a breakthrough, and Surrey out LBW to Borthwick for 51. Roy pressed on, and he looked set for his second 100 of the match, going to tee on 96 not out, Surrey 168 for 4 at the break. However, it wasn't to be for Roy, out first ball after the break, caught hooking down the leg side off Stokes for 96. Sam Curran and Folkes were the new pairing, and they set about rebuilding in the early stages of the evening session. Surrey were 221 for 5, just 60 short of their target with 5 wickets in hand. But Durham gave themselves hope when Stokes removed Folkes for 20, Borthwick the catcher. 2 balls later, and Durham's hope turned to genuine belief when Stokes had Tom Curran caught behind for a duck. Batty took a boundary off Stokes to put the brakes on Durham's charge, but when Jennings took a screamer to remove him for 12 off the bowling of Stokes, Durham was suddenly in the box seat. Surrey still needed 29 to win with just 2 wickets left, but victory for Durham seemed almost assured when Onions removed Mika for a duck, Collingwood with the catch. Durham then sealed victory by 21 runs when Onions bowled Footit for 4. It was an outstanding win for Durham, the 4th of their campaign. Jennings set the tone with a sensational double 100 in the first innings before Roy replied with 100 of his own for the visitors. Stoneman hit a valuable 92 in the second innings for Durham, whilst Sam Curran took career best figures of 7 for 58. Roy couldn't quite stick around long enough to guide Surrey home, but his 96 in the second innings gave him a total of 216 runs for the match. Graham Onions finished with 8 wickets for the match, and Ben Stokes contributed with a valuable 4-wicket haul in the evening session. Durham's victory lifts them to 5th in the table and guarantees that they'll be competing in Division 1 next season. Surrey remain 4th, and a final round bye means they'll now begin planning for another title challenge in 2017.
I know you've got a train to catch. Final question before you get that train, you head down to Lords tomorrow. How much are you looking forward to the final on Saturday?
Can't wait. Massive game, isn't it? It's the showpiece for everybody. We can't wait. Hopefully we've learnt from a couple of mistakes we made last year. I feel like we've played some very good one-day cricket this year. I still feel like we've got our A game to play, and hopefully we deliver that on Saturday.